What's up, notJust developers? In this video, we're gonna set up React Native CLI on a Windows machine. We're gonna cover everything from installing Node.js dependencies and other prerequisites, also including Android Studio, React Native CLI, and other tools that we will need in our development process. So without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so let's start by installing the Windows terminal because we're gonna use it a lot. So let's open Microsoft Store and we can install it from here. Let's search Windows Terminal. And open it from here. Let's install it. And after that we can launch it. Let's test it out. So if I write ls, I see all the folders that I have here. The next step is to install Git, and we will use Git both for source control management and also for the Git bash that it comes with. So let's go to git/scm.com, and from here we can download it for Windows. After that, let's open the installation guide. All right, next. Here, what changes we should do? Let's check the last one in order to add Git bash profile to the Windows terminal that we installed previously. Yeah, let's leave everything else by default. Next. Here, let's override the default branch name for new repository with main, because this is the new default and the new rule to have like the main branch as main. Alright, so on this screen, I'm gonna choose the second one because this one will provide me with some Unix tools, and it's useful for me because I'm coming from Linux and macOS, and that's why I will choose this one. You can also go with the recommended one. It's gonna work as well as expected. Let's press on the next one. Let's leave it as default. Next, default. And we don't need those, so let's install it. Okay, let's finish and let's open our Windows terminal. This will automatically open a PowerShell, but we can go on this arrow and open a Git bash. So let's see if it opens, and here I can write git version. Yes, everything is installed, so all good. I'll also set the Git bash as the default, so let's go to settings. And default profile will be Git bash. Save and close all tabs. And let's open again Windows terminal, and it will automatically open Git bash here. Alright, so the next step is to install and configure Node.js on our machine. We will need Node.js in order to run our React Native application, and also we will need the NPM, which comes with Node.js. And which is a package manager, because we will use it to install packages in our application. So let's get started, and we're gonna go to notjust.org, and here I'm gonna install the version 16 that starts with 16, just because this version will have long-term support, if we look here, very soon. In October this year. So most probably by the time you are watching this, the version 16 is already having long-term support, which means that it is safe to be used in production environments. So let's go and download this one, and let's open the installer. Okay, so here let's press next, let's accept the terms, next. Very important. Tick this checkbox in order to automatically install all the necessary tools in order not to do them manually. So next, and wait until Node.js installs. Okay, let's say finish, and this will automatically open a terminal, and here let's press on any key to continue, because this is the additional tools that Node.js automatically installs for us. So Alright, so after around 7 or 9 minutes, I think it finished and automatically closed the terminal. So let's have a look if it successfully installed it. So I'm going to open again Windows Terminal, and from here we can write node ---- version. Yeah, we see that the version is 16.7, and also we can write npm ---- version. And npm is 7.2, which means that node and npm has been installed successfully. Let's also set up our environment for React Native CLI. So for that, let's go to reactnative.dev and let's follow their documentation for the getting started. Because my video can get outdated, but their documentation will always be up to date. So on the left panel, let's go to the environment setup. So setting up development environment. From here, it's important to select React Native CLI Quick Start instead of Expo because we already have it. And development operation system, we have Windows, and for the target OS, we can only develop for Android. For iOS, we cannot. That's the benefit of Expo because we can also target the iOS. So installing dependencies, let's start with Node. Node, we have it already, we installed it. And the next step is the Java Development Kit, or shortly JDK. So we're gonna install it using Choco, which was installed automatically with our notJS. If you don't have it, if you didn't follow the notJS installation, try to install Choco on your system. So let's open it here as administrator and let's paste our code here. The only thing is that we don't need notjs because we already installed it. We will do only choco install -y openjdk 8. Let's do that. Alright, so it seems that the JDK has successfully been installed. So let's close our terminal and follow the installation guide further. So, alright, additional development environment. So we need Android Studio in order to have some SDKs. Also, Android Studio comes with the emulator that we will use to develop locally without needing an extra device. So let's download Android Studio from their webpage. Let's accept their terms and conditions and press download. Let's now open the installation guide. And here, based on the documentation, it says that we should make sure that the next boxes are checked. Android SDK, SDK platform, and virtual device, shortly AVD. Next. Android Studio and Android Virtual Device. That's the only option for me, so I'm gonna accept them, install. Okay, so the installation finished. Let's press next and let's start Android Studio. Do not import settings. It already asks me to update some plugins. Okay, let's update it. I don't think we need it, but let's keep everything updated. And restarting. Alright, so let's press next. Choose the type of setup you want for Android. Let's see what custom will provide us. Next, yeah, the dark theme. Okay, so here the checkboxes, Android SDK. So here, yeah, we have SDK, we have a platform and the performance. And our AVD is already installed. So, okay, let's click next. Let's leave it by default, the recommended RAM memory for our emulators. I can also increase it a bit just because I have enough, but 2 should be enough. Okay, let's press finish. Alright, so it finished. Let's see. So based on the documentation, we should install the Android SDK and specifically Android 10. Okay, let's see where we can do that. Alright, so let's go here on the more actions and find here the SDK manager. we will need, as they say, the Android 10.0. So let's select this and let's apply. The following will be installed. SDK, yes. So let's accept the terms. Next. And once it is done, let's click on the finish and let's go back here. Okay, so Android SDK done. Alright, so apparently we need to install even more things. So let's go back in our Android Studio. Here in the SDK platforms, let's make sure that we check this show package details. And as we see in the documentation, we need the Android SDK platform 29 and the Intel Atom system image or the Google API Intel Atom. Let's select both just to be sure. And let's press apply. Accept. Alright, so here we are done, and the next step is to install the SDK tools that we need. Here as well, let's show package details. And for the Android SDK build tools, where they are, yeah, first one. Let's make sure that we have 29.2 selected, and let's apply again. Alright, so we are done with our Android Studio setup. The next step is to set some environment variables because React Native depends on them. So before that, let's go back to our Android Studio. Let's click on Customize here on the left panel and let's see all settings. From here, let's go to the first one, Appearance and Behavior, System Settings, and then Android SDK. Copy the Android SDK path from the top here, and then we will open Windows Control Panel, User and Accounts, and then again User and Accounts. And here let's do Change My Environment Variables. Let's create a new one, and the variable name will be Android Home. Make sure it's spelled correctly, or you can even copy paste from React Native documentation. And the value will be the one that we copied, the path to our SDK. So Android Home, OK. And let's press OK again. Let's close everything. And now let's test if the Android Home has been successfully set. So let's open PowerShell, and let's copy paste this code from here. PowerShell, paste. And let's have a look if Android Home, I can see it here. So yeah, it is pointing to the right direction. While we're still here, let's also add the platform tools, which is some additional Android tools. Let's press on the path, and here let's press new. Let's paste the value of our SDK, and then / and platform -tools, and then OK. OK, and let's close it. We can also test if the platform tools that we need are added by opening a terminal and here just running ADB. If you see all the list of ADB commands, that means that our platform tools has been added successfully. Alright, so that's it with Android Studio and everything. Now let's get to set up React Native. The documentation just not to install a specific version of React Native globally, but instead use npx React Native. And by doing that, we will also get the latest React Native version when setting up a project. So let's open a Windows terminal, where I have it here, and we can write npx React Native. Initially, npx will ask us to install the React Native because we don't have any React Native installed yet. So let's press yes, wait until it installs. Okay, so npx installed React Native for us. Now we can initialize a new project. So let's go into the folder that I have for the projects. Let's clear the screen. And now we can write npx React Native init for initialize, and here the project name. So React Native first project. This will initialize the project with the latest React Native version. In order for everyone to be on the same page, let's take the latest React Native version that we have right now and set it using version 0.65. This way, we will all work with this React Native version. While the project is being initialized, let's go back to our Android Studio and prepare our virtual device emulator. So yeah, here in Android Studio, let's do more actions, and from here AVD Manager, which stands for Android Virtual Devices. Let's create a new virtual device. And let's choose the, Pixel XL phone. And let's press next. The release name Q with API level 29. We have it already downloaded, so it should be good to go. Let's rename the device to Android 29 in order for easier to remember what Android version it has. Then we can press finish. And here we have it. Let's run it by pressing on this play button. So the issue with this device is I didn't see that it doesn't have a Play Store. So that might limit some features that we will need in future. So for that reason, let's just delete this virtual device and create a new one that has a Play Store. We see which devices has Play Store and which devices doesn't. So let's choose, for example, Pixel 4, which has Play Store installed. So let's go next. And apparently for the devices with Play Store, we need to download version 29 again. So we're gonna have to wait a bit. All right, so this one finished as well. Let's select it, Q from here. Next, let's rename it to Android 29. And if your device is not very powerful, you can disable the device frame. This will save some computational power. Now let's run the Android emulator by pressing on the play button and wait until it sets up. And usually when it opens the first time, it takes a bit more just because it has to set up the Android system. Everything has been installed, so let's go inside that project. So I'm gonna do cd run first project, that's how I called it. Can do it like this. And again, let's run npm start to start the development server. And besides starting the development server, we should also tell React Native that it should build and run the application on the device. In Expo, that was done from the Google Chrome page, but here for React Native CLI, we do not have that, so everything will be managed from here. That's why we need to open a new terminal. In the first one, we have a development server. In the second one, we will open project and do npm run Android. All right, so after around 3.5 minutes, our application has finally built and is running on our emulator, which means that, yeah, everything is fine. We have installed React Native CLI successfully. It runs the application on our emulator. Yeah, it was a long step, but finally we are there. Let's also make sure that whenever we do some changes to our code, our application also will change automatically with hot reload. I'm gonna open my React Native first project here, and I'm gonna open the application folder using Notepad, because everyone has Notepad. So if I scroll down a bit and see some text, for example, instead of step 1, we can say hello world, and if I save a file, refreshing, and I see hello world here on the device. Yes, hot reload working, save working, perfect. Okay, and the last step is to install an IDE where we will spend most of our time writing the code. My IDE of choice is Visual Studio Code, so let's go ahead and open Visual Studio Code in order to download it and install on our system. Okay, let's press download for Windows. Yeah, and let's start the installation. I accept the agreement, next, that's okay, next. Let's add open with code action in Windows Explorer, in directory as well, and let's register code as an editor for supported file types. Okay, let's install it. Okay, now, yeah, let's not launch it. Let's open the folder with a project that we had. So here in our my first application project, we can go ahead and press open with code, not with Visual Studio Code. Let's press trust the author and some settings. I prefer the dark mode, and that's it. Here we have our application. I'm gonna go ahead and zoom in a bit. From here, we can open the terminal by pressing Ctrl and the apostrophe below escape button, or you can go here, terminal, new terminal. From here, again, you can write npm start, and we will be able to run it from here. That's it for today, guys. Our Windows machine is ready to get started and build projects. If you're interested to learn more about React Native, check out the videos in the description below or on my channel, because we have a lot of project tutorials that you might love. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing to my channel and turning on the notification bell. And let me know down below what other videos I should make about React Native. Take care, guys, stay hydrated and write clean code. Bye bye.